So we're joined then with a couple of very lovely young ladies for a Wednesday. Oh.
I love the young.
Yeah, I love that bit. I'll hold on to that.
You liking that?
Love it.
You are young. So first of all, I want you both to introduce yourself to me.
Hello, I'm Donna Taylor.
And I'm Karen Bryson.
And what do you do, Donna?
Well, so I created the idea and wrote the block.
Good.
And then I found the amazing Karen Bryson, who has teamed up with me, and we've been producing it together from beginning
fantastic.
to now.
Are you excited?
Very. It's been a labour of love. We've just been reminiscing before we came on air about the journey.
Yes,
What
a journey.
That sounds a bit like Delite, labour of love.
Yes.
Yes.
So let's go from the start then. What made you write the block?
Well, I lived in this little estate in Enfield, and
I remember it well, Ponder's End.
and I loved it so much, and I had such fond memories of it, and it was like, you know, made me the person I am today in my eyes. I love the people, still friends with the people, lots of the people, 90% of the people there I'm still really good friends with, and I just felt that it was so key into, you know, forming who I am today, and I wanted to show the world that these people that often live in these social housings are misjudged, they're pigeonholed, and they love to stereotype someone from social housing, and I found that they were the most amazing people that I live with, and that people are misjudged. They don't see what's behind the closed doors, the hearts of these people. The majority of the people, really, all they want is a better life. They want to improve their lives, you know, and that's what the whole essence of it was.
Absolutely. And weirdly, when Donna and I met and she told me about the idea, she's had it swimming around obviously for years because it's an extremely personal story for her. What was amazing is when she said she had the idea and she had a little bit down on paper, I was like, right, this sounds amazing. She came back with a script which I absolutely fell in love with.
How do you go about writing something like that?
Well, I've loved writing for years. Never saw myself as a writer as a child because I always struggled. But I actually just had always the creative mind, and this, I guess, is why it was so important to me, because I want to reach those kids as well that struggle academically, and through the creativity, it gave me confidence in every other area. And I find that there's so many kids out there that may not be as academic, but creatively are excellent and brilliant and deserve a chance, and they don't get the chance because they may not have the money or the area they live in, the opportunities aren't there. And this is where Karen and I had such a synergy. We wanted to show that, and to also encourage, because there's one thing about being underrepresented on TV screens. If people are turning on a TV and they do not see who they are, it's switch off. But if you suddenly see positive images of, and I am going to say it, working class folk grafting. I mean, we're underrepresented. We represent 47% of the population, and yet we've got Benefit Street or hoods and gangs. What about the grafters? What about the ones who save the money up to go and send little Johnny to swimming classes, or try and encourage, or do 2-3 jobs, cleaning or whatever?
That's like most of us.
Exactly. Underrepresented. There's a gap in the market. So from a commercial point of view, we're crying out for this on TV screens, where people can switch and go, actually, that's me. There are 8 diverse families portrayed in the block, and that's what's wonderful, because amongst that, there is going to be some synergy. There is going to be some connection that you're going to feel, because of the variety of the characters that we have on screen, which is representative of London, a diverse London.
Very cultural.
So
very
how
diverse.
do you go about financing something like that? How do you do that? Is it a labour of love?
Well, we started from getting some seed investment from a crowdfunder, didn't we?
Yeah, which was very interesting.
We'll leave that by the sounds of it.
Yeah, no, they did well. They helped us out,
lovely.
and it was great.
Amazing.
And this great guy called Jeff Spires was brilliant and fantastic getting us started.
Yeah.
And then once we had a starting point, we then started looking at other investors, and people started seeing the hype and wanting to come forward and help us. And we had a really amazing investor that I grew up with on the estate.
Really?
A working class woman who turned around and donated a large sum of money. I was literally in tears.
Can I have a number?
No, but you know, this just what I believe is that a lot of people that haven't got much are the most giving people.
You find
And
that,
this,
don't you?
Oh my God, and this was a demonstration of that, and I just was in tears, and Karen was just, we were just so
dumbfounded,
touched.
Yeah.
And another investor I've got, Ian, who's just been he's been supporting me through all my projects, because I've got a couple of other projects, just has faith. And you know, we want to get that message out that anything's possible, and to keep those dreams alive, and for these kids. And this is what I think it does, because it shows that anyone, you know, I'm from that background, I've worked really hard, and I loved my acting so much, I loved the writing, and that you can do it, and this is the message behind it.
Absolutely.
It's really hard to break into, isn't it?
It's
really hard to break into, even for like jobbing actors. It's really, really hard. So
it is a struggle. I mean, I've been in the business, I hate to say it, because I know I only look 20, but over 20 years.
No way.
Yeah. And again, coming from a working class background, I was sort of told, that's not for you.
Really?
Get a secretarial a diploma. It's not for you. And I was like, okay, I'll teach you. And I learnt Shakespeare, and I bought a second-hand book and went through it with a dictionary, because it's before the internet, so we had children's encyclopedia, and went through words I didn't understand, and I fell in love with Shakespeare. And then I went to LAMDA, which is a classical trained drama school, and again, we didn't have the money, so again I got a grant. But every step along the way, it's not for you.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, it's not for you.
So what you're saying is basically you're putting up your fingers, aren't you, and saying this is what we're doing. Yeah, we're making some hype about it. This is what we're doing. I'm looking forward to coming on Friday. But we'll talk more. I'm going to play you another great song in a minute called Sahara. You Are My Everything. So we're a bit like you, really. Yeah. So you're doing the TV sort of thing. We're giving people the chance to do the radio sort of thing. It's exactly the same. It's exactly the same sort of concept that you're doing and what we're doing, really.
Yeah, I think it's great giving new talent a chance. So that, you know, there's a lot of jobbing actors like myself and Karen, been acting for years, but there's a lot of people that are in the spotlight and others that don't get that chance to go get a bit more seen. So they've got a lot of actors like that are jobbing, brilliant, talented actors involved in this piece. We've got a few faces. We've got brilliant Michael Greco. We've got Terry Dyer. We've got Karen herself, who's got an MBE recently.
Wow, congratulations.
She's a bit humble about it.
You didn't have to bring it with you.
I haven't got it yet, actually. I get it next month.
Right, when we come back, we'll be speaking more to these lovely young ladies about the block. Directors, writers, just, you know, we've got it going on here in Delite. Of the block. So it's about social housing. You've done the pilot.
Yeah.
The pilot is being shown on Friday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, very exciting.
And I'm coming.
Yay!
I'm definitely coming. Let me tell you. I'm looking forward to that beer afterwards. Can anyone else come? Can I give away a pair of tickets?
Oh, we'd love that.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. That's a plan.
Yeah,
Shall we?
definitely.
Yes.
Okay. So if you can come to Covent Garden, I'll let you know how you can win just after midday. You can come with me. You can even sit with me. How's that?
Yeah.
That's a bit of a booby prize, but so the pilot's done. So you've got, is it Michael Greco, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who for my sort of age, is Beppe.
Yes.
Yeah, it's Beppe from EastEnders. Can I call him Beppe?
I think
I don't
yeah.
No.
He's done some great. I mean, he's really done some amazing work. He's worked with some great actors. He's a really lovely guy. Love working with him. Very down to earth and loves this whole ethos. And this is the thing about
team
this.
were brilliant, actually.
Yeah, the actors Terry Dyer, who's done a lot of TV and a lot of TV sort of Loose Women, etc., and things like that as well. But she's a brilliant actress. People have come on board because they loved what we're trying to do.
And the project. Yeah.
Cool. So you've got the pilot on obviously Friday. What's the plans?
Right. Okay. So first of all, we were lucky enough to have the amazing director David Blair on board. Which
No way.
Yeah, David Blair, as in BAFTA-winning director of The Street, no less.
Wow. How'd you bag that?
Well, I loved The Street. I loved Common. He's written some amazing, directed some amazing pieces that when I used to watch them, I used to think, oh my God, to be in something like this, to write something like this is my dream. And then I just thought, you know what, be ballsy. And so I wrote him, and he loved the project and he's loved what it was all about as well as the project. So very grounded, very lovely, supportive. From
the top, we were both taken aback at how amazingly supportive and down to earth he was. He got it immediately. Yeah. His style, actually, weirdly, is very similar to the block. His style a lot of the work he's done has looked at normal working folk.
Yeah.
You know, the hearts and the minds, not statistics, not, you know, news coverage of bad things that happen, but the hearts behind those statistics. That's always been his style. So this, I mean, it was like a marriage made in heaven.
Well, it was, and he just loved it. And he loves to give the opportunities. Guy. So when I said, but David, I don't just want it to be named artists. I'd like to give some people an opportunity to be part of this. He's like, of course, you know, this is what I'm about. And I was just like, wow.
Yeah, brilliant. In fact, he actually said he was quite specific about that.
Yeah, he wanted
it was
that.
great.
So that
was this is what I mean about the marriage made in heaven.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Totally synergy, total sort of.
Yeah, we're very grateful and very excited and nervous.
So what we're looking for now is someone to pick it up.
Yeah, so we've been furiously working tirelessly behind the scenes to get this in front of the right people, to create a bit of a buzz around it.
And I'm sure you will. I'm really looking forward to it. I've seen Donna's work before.
Wicked.
Really good quality stuff.
Wicked.
So I'm really looking forward to that.
Oh,
really looking forward to it. So, in general, how do these things work? You know, like, because I'm not too sure how the TV and all that sort of stuff works. So you've done the pilot, and now you put it in front of people, and then do they say yes or no, or is it that simple? Or
not. It's quite a complicated process because there's various tiers of development, if that makes sense, and that's the bit that I suppose we'll see how we go. But all we're saying is we want to get it out to as much of those sort of people that can. You know, move it forward, as it were, as possible. But as I said, there are various tiers of engagement.
And if we got our listeners now thinking, I'd like to give a little acting go. I'd like to be behind the scenes. You know, people do, don't they?
Yeah,
people is that something that you do as well?
Behind the scenes.
Yeah, giving people a chance
Always.
to.
Yeah, there's been some fantastic ones. There was a young runner. I loved him.
Oh, we both did. We all did.
Oh my God, this kid, he grafted. You could say, honestly, I feel so passionate about it. You could say something to him once, and that kid would make sure that was done and remind me. So we're all running around.
Do you know what? I definitely need his number.
He's amazing. Absolutely
everyone
amazing.
Wants him on their set because anyone would walk in set and say, "Can I help you? Would you like a cup of tea? Brilliant. Is there anything else I can do?" But he was this young kid. Education wasn't for him, but he was such and that was an example of how. If you're not academic, and given the chance, because this kid was just amazing.
He's brilliant.
I was just like, I'm having him on every set I'm on.
And I agree. Me too. Because also it's one of those things where you kind of go, okay, so he's made for it. There may be people who think they like the idea of it, but it's hard work. Yeah. So forget all the glamour of it. It's hard work. He was not afraid to get his hands dirty from the minute I met him.
Nice.
What can I do to help you?
Yeah, really lovely kid.
Brilliant.
Oh, I love the whole team, and we built such a lovely rapport with everyone, and at the end it was just like, oh my God, we've done it. And if you saw us behind the scenes at points, you know, because we had such a little budget to do what we did, and Karen and I were doing a million jobs, and we were looking at each other going, oh my God, we've got to do this. And we've got the props, it was such a big operation and a huge cast and crew. It was 8 families plus the massive crew, and it was the biggest project I've ever done.
Same here. And do you know what's really weird? As I sort of say to people, sometimes naivety is a good thing, because if I'd actually looked at the logistics of this, because the thing I produced before was more money, less cast, and I mean less. It was like 5 of us. Yeah. It's plain sailing. If I'd actually looked at it logistically, I would have gone, you've got to be kidding me, and run a mile. It was incredible. There were times when Donna and I kid you not, were in hysterics. With the enormity of it all going, okay, so we were straight.
Yeah, because we were doing everything from leafleting to get locations, because we couldn't afford all of these things, because we wanted to get the good camera, the good dark, we needed these, the quality. So we were running around doing everything. Our hair stood on end like Cruella de Vil driving through the streets.
Right. You've got 30 seconds to really sell the block.
Go, Don.
Okay, so this block is TV that matters. It is reaching us everyday people, and we want as many people behind us as possible.
It's also riveting, engaging, entertaining. Will make you laugh, will make you cry, will make you want to tell your friends about it.
And it has got such an inclusive, beautiful cast and an amazing score and a I just am so proud of everyone. Thanks.
And TV you want to see, trust me.
Thank you very much. Beautiful. Well done, girls. It's been an absolute pleasure. We're going to give away a pair of tickets. I'm going to come down. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to the pilot. And also, what's the bit after the pilot?
Well, after the pilot, we've got some drinks.
Bring that on. Ladies, thank you very much indeed. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Oh, thanks.
You are fabulous. Thank you for having us.